Listener discretion is advised. Welcome. This is Her America. I'm your host, Chaida. We were a few weeks away from 2024 when the mayor for the city of New York was slapped with a lawsuit over sexual assault allegations. A former NYPD aide is suing the mayor over sexual assault allegations. It was claimed that the mayor would make her trade in sexual favors in order to get a promotion in the department. This sexual assault allegedly took place back in 1993 when Mayor Eric Adams was a police officer in the department. It has been reported since that Eric Adams has denied all allegations. Is there a rape culture persistent in the New York City Police Department? It has not been the first time that we, at least for me, I've ever learned of any event that included rape or sexual assault, harassment, or grooming of some sort. It just seems that there is a culture there where having sexual relations between colleagues, whether it's consensual or not, is a common thing. And that could be in its romantic relationships in the workplace is not uncommon. That's like every workplace. But sexual harassment, rape, grooming, that's not common in every workplace. But that's something that's been happening predominantly in New York Police Department. There was another victim who faced major sexual assault, allegedly, from fellow officers in the police department. Her name is Maria Mendez, and she faced years of rape, sodomy, and sexual harassment from other officers and civil servants before resigning from her position in January 2019. She was a police officer for the New York Police Department for 14 years before resigning. In an article by the New York Post, it states, a former NYPD cop was repeatedly raped, sodomized, and mentally tormented by a charade of officers over the course of 5 years. But when her case was brought to the Manhattan District Attorney Office, it declined to prosecute. An explosive federal lawsuit filed Tuesday claims Maria Mendez, who last worked in the 32nd Precinct and resigned from the department in January 2019, after a 14-year career, she said she was raped by 2 officers, 1 detective, and 1 FDNY firefighter, and was regularly forced to ingest oxidine, ecstasy, and alcohol. Her Manhattan federal lawsuit claims. I'm going to skip a little further down. Further, videos of Mendez being raped and assaulted were regularly shared across the department in a group chat where high-ranking officers like Deputy Chief Michael Baker and Captain Neil Zuber Zuber, I think that's how you say it, allegedly viewed the content but did nothing about it, the suit claims. I did a little more research, and it was alleged that she, of course, when you face brutality like this, there are going to be injuries, internal injuries, scars. It also was reported that she, after her time in NYPD, that she got PTSD and depression. And my heart reaches out to her because no one should ever have to experience rape ever. But unfortunately, we live in a fallen world and people are out to hurt other people. If anyone is a victim of sexual assault, not only are you not alone, but there are resources to help you. And I'll be sure to share some resources in the description of this episode for anyone that needs help. I tried so hard to see if there was, this lawsuit was filed back in 2021. So I tried to see if there were any result from the lawsuit being, after the lawsuit was filed, and it was reported that she received a disability benefit for her PTSD. But she should have received so much more than that. She worked 14 years as a police officer. That meant for 14 years she woke up every day, put on that uniform, and serve and protect the city of New York. And all this, and it didn't happen for her entire career, but for the last couple years of her career in the department, she was harassed, she was raped, she was brutalized by these officers. And firefighter, allegedly, there were pictures, and I saw the pictures, and it was not pretty. I don't know what to say after this, because you cannot, what do you say to somebody who faced this kind of brutality? I hope that something came of this, because rape culture is clearly present in the police department. And it's no shocker that when you look at statistics, when it comes to how police officers respond to certain calls, sometimes domestic calls can be one of the worst calls that an officer can respond to. But at the same time, you got police departments that lag behind when responding effectively to domestic calls. There needs to be an independent organization to look into these cases that happen within the police department. We cannot rely on the systems that are already established, because as you know, as it was reported in the New York Post article, the Manhattan District Attorney Office declined to prosecute Maria Mendez's case because most likely the district attorney office has a close relationship with the NYPD, and they don't want those ties severed. So there needs to be an independent establishment to be able to look into cases that involve sexual assault by a police officer. Because it's coming to that point where we can't even trust the people who claim to help us. With that being said, thank you for listening. This has been Her America.